This is One True I'm the Gamer Boss
The
Bros.
informational emperor True Backlash.
And the first lady of Media Blue.
We're going to you with a quickie movie review of Jurassic World. I said I didn't want to do it. Blue said we're going to do this.
Yeah.
I said you can't do it under 15 minutes. And she said, oh yeah? Okay, let's do it. Yes, go.
Okay, this movie should be pretty much called Jurassic Park because we haven't learned our lesson the first 3 times. Because the late John Hammond, the person who owned the park, who spared no expense, played by the late Richard Attenborough, sold Jurassic Park to this other company. They expanded it, made it a Disney World XV. That's the good. But to keep everyone interested, they keep toying with genetics, making these new dinosaurs. And that's the bad. One of these dinosaurs was smart enough to escape, and now he's wreaking havoc on the park. Oh, and Star-Lord's there. There's your plot.
So what
done.
So what about the movie that we like?
Well, let me see. It's not as timeless as the first Jurassic Park movie, but you could tell there was love made into it. Well done.
Well, for me, were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, what I really liked about the movie is it was a bit nostalgia. If you saw the first Jurassic Park, it was an amazing thing to see on the screen. And we happen to see it in 3D. So for me, it spent some of that time rehashing that amazement that first gave everybody that thrill and that audience love for these larger-than-life, really realistic looking 3D, in fact, for us, dinosaurs and dinosaur-like. Now, what I really liked about the fact that this movie came forward, the first movie had some shortcomings, as minuscule as they were, the reality of some of the dinosaur things. But this one made it look more surreal in the sense that, and real, because you could actually understand why these dinosaurs could do certain things that in real life these dinosaurs probably couldn't do because they genetically bound these things in their own way. They created these dinosaurs, so to speak. Now, lastly, I think if you really know a real life velociraptor, real life is only about the size of a chicken. So if you knew that,
Quote unquote real life, by the way.
Quote unquote real life. So if you saw this back in the day, it would be the size of a chicken. And first Jurassic Park made these things look like they were big time, huge terrors as velociraptors could be. But it was real. I liked it, and I thought that it was well done in terms of all the special effects.
I like the special effects as well. They were very impressive. And, I couldn't tell the difference between 3D and practical. So I'm sure everyone else out there is pretty happy. What we didn't like about the movie? Go.
You first.
You first? Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, I gotta admit, I actually have more negatives than positives this time around, and I'll explain why my thought of thought. But anyway, the characters were kind of boring. It is the first movie. Too many deaths. Not enough funny. And, I guess that's it.
Well, okay, go ahead, Blue, I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, I'm inclined to agree with what Braun said to say. Essentially, I felt the same way, that the characters were too one-dimensional, with the exception of the kids, the characters who played the kids. I kind of liked them. They had some note of reality-based scenarios with them. But overall, I thought the 2 central adult characters were lackluster at best. And above that, even the human villains were lacking somewhat. There was, an easily identifiable human villains in the movie, but they really didn't do anything.
And also mad scientist. I dare you not to pick out the mad scientist when you first see him.
Well, okay, so let me just put it this way. It's like, I thought most of the characters were done well, except for Vincent D'Onofrio, who, he played the Kingpin in Daredevil. I kind of thought his portrayal was good, but not as good as, say, a Roscoe Lee Brown of the 90 animated Spider-Man or of Michael Clark Duncan. He just disappointed Bronze and Blue outright. But as far as this movie goes, he's he's not any better. You know, the kids I thought were kind of bland, flavorless. You know, it's like, oh, so their kids, your dad's and mom are getting divorced, huh? Well, really? Emo teenager, huh? Likes chicks, really? Think wandering eye much? But
The little kid's a nerd.
and let's see, I like dinosaurs. And then I don't like how they Mary suit them up on a certain scene so they could make sure they had their own survival. You know, there's one part it's like, really? And like, you can do insert spoiler here, but you can't drive, kid. Really? How much? And like whoa. And then the Raptors, their allegiances, man. It's just like
Hey! Spoiler! Spoiler!
Yes.
Okay. And the Raptors are just like they're not as threatening as it was in the last Jurassic Park movie. The Raptors really just confused me this time around.
And you know what? I didn't like the look of the Raptors either. They looked weird. Out of all the CG I've ever seen, the CG Raptors in this movie versus the practical Raptors in the first movie, there was a stark difference.
And it's like,
and I never say that.
And let me see what else.
We only got halftime left. Let's go.
All right. Let me just think about this first. I guess I didn't think there were too many deaths. I think it's on par with the other movie, with Jurassic Park 1, and I think at least The Lost World, because, I think it's on par with those movies on how many deaths there were in those movies. Not as bad as 3, I don't think, but,
I only think there was like 4 deaths in the original movie, and there were like tons more in this one.
But I just think it's just like, I think it kind of is like, I can't get, it takes away from it to not have anybody from the original movies back, or at least not as a reference, But,
I agree.
And then one more thing, Bryce Dallas Howard is the heroine. I thought she did a good job in her role. She's actually the aunt of the 2 bland kids. But the scenes with her and the mom figure, it's like, no, you're sounding like mom. No, you're sounding like mom. It's like, ugh. Okay.
All right, final thoughts. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Okay, my final thought overall, I thought it was a fair movie. I thought it was visually pleasing, and again, there wasn't a whole lot that we had never seen before, but it certainly was done in good taste. I do like the fact that even though there was a lot of killing, there wasn't a lot of bloodshed, and when they did, they tried to camouflage it so even kids could come and see the movie.
It was tastefully done.
Yeah, it was tastefully done. They wouldn't be traumatized by the movies. This is something that the kids could go see. And overall, I thought that there were some nitpicks about the movie that I definitely had in terms of the characters being fleshed out and genuine. But I enjoyed the movie. I did enjoy the fact that it was in 3D. One nitpick about the theater, I wish the 3D screen was bigger. I thought we kind of got a short straw on the theater itself. It seemed less than big, and I think for that, this movie kind of commands a large, like almost IMAX kind of scenario. But overall, I think it was a fair movie.
Backlash.
Well, I think it was a good movie too. I was entertained, not thoroughly entertained. There was a difference, but it was an entertaining film. Kept me entertained for a good 2 hours and a half. Let's see, Star-Lord, Chris Pratt. For those who watched my Parks and Rec, I think it was Andy there. He played his part very well. I think they built up enough story. I just think that I think they started to build on a lot of good stuff, and then all of a sudden they just rolled back down and that all back up. The only thing that remained consistent with the movie was the dinosaur they created. That was the consistent entertainment factor in the entire movie, and he delivered. He or she, I keep forgetting what she delivered. But the movie, it wasn't edge of your seat, but it delivered.
I didn't come to realize it until I watched this movie. But I'll have to admit it right now, I am not a Jurassic Park fan. I respect the movies. They were good, They still are good to some degree, but I never was a dinosaur guy. When I saw a giant lizard and I said, so it's a giant lizard, it's probably going to eat those guys because they're smaller than him. And that's all I really felt. Watching this movie, it's the same thing, but now it's just redoing the first movie all over again. Backlash was light. This is Jurassic Park, the remake, Jurassic World. But unlike the remake for Final Fantasy VII, I have no emotional attachment to it at all. So, with that, I have to rate it. It's okay. It doesn't do anything bad. It's not mediocre. It just doesn't really do anything for me that makes it, like, stellar and awesome. And, all right, let me go see that again.
Well, you know what? I thought I was going to give this a straight-up pass. You hear this, boss man? It's pass, not platinum pass, not like the last one.
I put pass via majority. That means because me and Blue liked Entourage with a platinum pass, your vote of a pass gets knocked down because we are the majority.
I respect you.
All right,
You gotta read those title cards.
Yeah,
4 minutes.
Well, whatever. Oh, I was going to get this one a pass, but when I thought about it, it's everything I said it was. But I think the ending, was very open. There wasn't any stingers, any teasers, which is fine. Not everyone's supposed to follow Marvel, but they had some more explaining to do. I just didn't buy that ending.
I agree.
And it just let us did open ended. It's like, it's kind of like how Lucy ended. Man, it's like, and it just was disappointing. Good movie, disappointing finish, and up and down roller coaster physics aside from when the main dinosaur was there. So it's okay.
So for me, I got it. What did you give it, by the way?
It's okay.
It's okay. For me, same thing. It was okay. There's nothing more I can add to what the both of you guys have said. And I think we may have managed to wrap this short review up on time.
I know, 12 minutes. I'm surprised.
Hey now.
So yeah, Jurassic World. If you like Jurassic Park, go see it. If you like dinosaurs, go see it.
If you want to wait till Reddit on Netflix or Hulu or a videotape, maybe if you make them, you're down.
And certainly take the kids. It's a kids-friendly movie, something that you all can enjoy. If you've never seen Jurassic Park, now's your time.
Yeah. Or if they never see Jurassic Park, now's their time. And this is One True, I'm the Gamer Boss Braun.
Mention our approach to Backlash.
And the Emperor, what?
The
First Lady of Media Blue.
We're gonna have to do the drills. Signing out for this quickie review. Yay!